1:30 on the clock, Vitality on the attack side, and already a lot of presence towards this A side. In fact, Derke's gone in with the spike, I believe, going for the plant now after that pick, and they have got the site wide open, looking for more control though, up towards heaven, but with a flash in hand, Tix goes down, and the trades go GX's way, at least for now.
Good opportunity for them to get back into this one. Yoru clone throw now. CyvOph doing well to find one back and give them that extra advantage. Even still though, Cloud lurking in from behind. He's been spotted though. That's all the information that they need. He was going to go running into the smoke, wanted to try and take that fight versus Cloud. But now in the post, it's going to become so difficult to clear that remaining player of Derke, already wrapping all the way back round into position for exactly where the plant is in. And in fact, he's managed to bait the steps enough for him to let go of that defusal, knowing that Cloud is not going to be on it, waiting for that additional tap. The time is too far gone, and well, it's just going to be the ego peak at the end.
Saying that GX weren't looking to fight back, and well, it seems I was very wrong about that. Like you said though, great start for CyvOph. You're coming in thinking, you know, you want to have impact, and well, you certainly did. That blind catches Derke, but he still wins the fight. I don't think that even caught westside. It didn't actually, you can see. That's a remarkable fight. We saw the same play in the pistol round, but doing it here, Tom, in a round like this, with a rifle as well. It's audacious, but it's worked out in Purpo. Well, he's taking a leaf out of his book, trying to retake a main. A side, I should say, but Vitality have gone back to main, fought up into heaven now, and they've got free space for a B rotate.
GX have got their whole team committed to A. Every single player is currently sat within that site. That is one of the quickest rotations I think we've ever seen from a team.
It's been slow since then, but that might even work out in their favor. It all depends on how tomaszy holds this B site. He's isolated, but 12 seconds left. Caught with the paranoia. Bought himself a little bit of time. TP's backside as well, but they've caught him. Sayf's looking the right way in heavy traffic, and that gets a plant for Vitality.
CyvOph, knowing that staying alive is far more important, and when you've got a player like Derke, you don't need to be getting aggressive. He'll do that job for you. I'm off for the remaining two of GX, but to basically...
Backing off meant that the two players in heaven split into two 1v1 fights, and Derke took the fight in heaven without a trade possible on the other side. So even though he didn't get a kill directly, some legs to stand on, and they're avoiding a lot of that utility that will come in, obviously with the Armageddon completely overrunning that A site. It's the heaven hold for GX. It's Cloud and westside. Well, Cloud has just gone down to the salvos, but westside here to save the day. It's one man left on that attacking side. This was looking like a stacked scenario in Vitality's favor, but this has quickly spiraled out of control.
10 seconds left.
A chance potentially to make a name for himself. You've got to try and stick this plant through, otherwise there won't be enough time. And well, it now just comes down to the last couple of kills, trying to bait someone into a fight. Definitely crispy with the aim, but
on this B-site take, we've seen the salvo stun combo be deadly so far. It's caused a lot of problems for the side of GX. Losing Cloud in the previous round, despite the fact that they recovered it, was an advantage that they gave away. They've avoided the early danger, and now it's the scrappy fight on the choke point, and they are winning, passing it with flying colors. The spike is left in the open, even though Derke gets out. He's got to go back in, and in the process, he is mowed down. Less the last man standing in. We said GX needed to get their hands on the reins pretty soon. Seems like it's mission accomplished.
This is all about how much damage can Les do. Position known. Right. Forced him back in.
Leaving Les behind, or at least staggered somewhat. With 12 seconds left, they're getting into heaven, and GX have not moved. They've kept the three-man stack on this side of the map. Derke grabs one, runner down low. They still need to deal with tomaszy, and they do, just in time. That plant will come in with half a second left on the clock. That is a narrow margin. I can't believe they called that rotation.
That's outrageous. Like this reminds me.
As a result, yeah, round is over. And unbelievable. The gall from Vitality, that stuns caught him. Les is in trouble, and he still got Purpo. Those early engagements really have not been going Purpo's way so far, but this one, I'm pretty sure Les was stunned up on the initial fight. Elsewise, why would he not be around the corner?
Well, also, I think he ran straight past Derke, so even if he had got that kill, he was dead anyway. Derke was in the corner, just sat behind. Like,
you can take a trade in that scenario. Well, I suppose they got it in the end with Derke
Yeah,
down.
that's the thing.
Could have
Like,
been the 2-1.
Of all of the early engagements we've seen, I was about to say it's going well, but now it's going very well. Les has fallen. He's been able to dominate a lot of this A ramp control, be it with the cams set up just to watch if anybody tries to re-clear. Again, they're going to put a lot on one player. It's westside on the other side of the map. The thing is, the last couple of rounds, they've been a lot more split in their defense. It's not been this full gamble like we saw in some of the early rounds. That's why they had those 3 players there towards the end. But the question is, how much can westside do? He had a fantastic round a couple ago where he was able to hold the line almost individually. I think it's going to have to be the same thing here.
TP committed?
Yep.
It is fully committed. Again, the goal on Vitality right now on CyvOph to take another. And that leaves Runner on 15 HP. No chance to deny that spike is what I would have said if we didn't switch to see the salvos. They came online just in time. 8 seconds now. Sayf catches one.
I don't think he knew was there. It's this, and then this.
Oh, no.
That's the kill. That's the kill. He literally TP'd to where his teammate was and gets killed for it. There's a
weight of expectation on his shoulders.
He's going to be on the board. 0 kills. There we go.
There we go. Tomassy's got one. And he'll get out.
Sometimes it takes a judge, you know? Sometimes you need just a cheese kill to get the engines turning again. We'll see. Maybe this can be the start, because that's really unlucky. Like, that last round is really, really unlucky on the timing. I'll say as well, I'm guessing they didn't hear the teleport from CyvOph, or they just didn't think he would stick it. But that's the thing I'm enjoying, is like, again, a lot of players either come in with something to prove or lacking confidence. He's doing neither.
Not at all. Not at all. And also, like you say, with the something to prove, it's just the fact that he's a smart player. He's made the right calls. We see a lot of cracks in young talent when they come to this level, but very few showing here, if any, for CyvOph. There's less opening up onto Purpo. Brings it back to a 4v4 at least. The numbers not looking too bad. And Cloud and Westside, they've got full control up in heaven. The spike will be planted and it's safe up top, looking for his ult with one more orb. 1 kill, 1 pick. And he's in the game, but he also loses salvos if he dies. There's the ult online, but not for this round. The pressure falls onto Derke's shoulders. He's got the first kill, surely. A lot of ultimates online already. One gonna be put in towards this A site. They want the fight, and they want it to be Purpo leading the charge. He grabs his kill, and Runner's in with the utility for another. The A site crunch early, just a great read. Vitality have been going for that spot either with a lurker or with the whole team. This time, well, there's a couple players towards middle looking to take that space late, but GX don't want to give them the fights. The advantage is already theirs.
Aftershock used to clear the trip, but not really been a switch up of position. They're happy to play this 3-man crossfire. Let's hold in position. Vitality going to try and go towards the spawn. It's unorthodox. It's not expected by anyone other than Westside, who's probably the exact man you'd want in this sort of position. First shot, easy does it. Looking for a little more, won't find it. But with the paranoia through and players completely split, 40 seconds left now for them to try and find something.
Well, they've got to win 2 2v2s essentially. No matter where they go, there's bodies waiting for them. Time is against them.
30 seconds left.
Oh, just now they've managed to find an isolated fight with the utility that was being lined up. The salvos avoided and the site being taken. Cloud stomps his way in. They heard him surely move towards the site, but do they expect the close corner? No, they don't. It's an easy pick, but Kix gets his third. The plant will be the end of him surely. They're waiting for it. No, he gets the spike down. I was waiting for Tomaszy to round the corner. Now Kix is waiting for exactly that. They're lined up, but the first is his. The 4th of the round and the ace on the cards. It's only Purpo. A tough game so far. Fake TP out his steps, give him away, and Kix is posted on the angle. He only catches the shoulder. The Rolling Thunder, though, still online, will buy him all the time he needs. He's seen the ankle, and he'll rip his
bet that it would be a Vitality player to do it, but I don't know if they would have necessarily bet that it would be Kix, but this is the problem. Like, again, I feel like there have been moments, plenty of moments, where you'd look at this game and go, okay, GX are in it. They're competitive. They're fighting for the side again. A lot of the rounds they won have been down to him. Cloud just walked into the open, maybe not expecting anybody to be there. That's a lot of utility for Westside to try and escape. Still standing, gets 2 for 1. Again, he seems to bring them back when it looks like there's no hope. Sayf, though, has put another in the grave, and you can already see these lurks. Look at where CyvOph is currently standing. He is waiting behind them. Tomaszy, another fight that he's never going to get the chance to take. And while we've just seen an ace from one side, it needs to be another for westside, and he is the expended westside. He seems to have the right idea. A great start to the round. Derke gone, and an advantage for GX.
Well, he was the one to open and shut the first pistol round, and the door is shut firmly in his face. 5v4 to start with, and Purpo, well, he's looking to do exactly the same as was done to them. Go in for that aggressive TP, take control over the site, and the cavalry follows suit. He's been spotted. Cam up above revealed him. Les just firing into the dark, and that flash was perfect. CyvOph, though, manages to at least find two. It's doable. It's difficult. First half, but not this time around. Sayf, very low on HP. It's an easy pickup. Westside having a hell of a game so far. GX have been struggling in that first half, but he was a standout performer in it. And he may just carve a path towards the site for GX this time around. That pick and vent sends them to the A site, sends them towards Les. Perhaps with this extra element of control, they'll be brave enough to take on this setup, take on this man already being caught by a trap. They know he's close. Les smells the blood in the water, and he calls in for Derke to help him out. Creep up though, oh now it's being spotted. Runner, you better get running. Kicks, takes him down, and Spike is there as a result. It's westside trying to cleave back some element of control as Cloud takes over the site. They'll get a plant out of this and a man advantage.
Kicks so desperately low. CyvOph not much better off. They're going for the element of surprise, but that element has completely gone.
More even. The uphill battle comes a bit more gentle stroll. Derke straight down mid onto Cloud. It's not a
CyvOph. Like it's a deep push into mid. Point to B, sorry. And he's already going to win one of them. Okay, doesn't get out of there, but he's bought time. Now they can throw the salvos in, delay that a little bit further. And that's the thing. In these sort of rounds, okay, those cheeky plays are going to be great, but it depends how much you can burn off that clock.
For being on A, it's a little easier. They don't have that Sentinel util waiting. Flash from Runner, hopefully get them up to heaven. The delay's been good. We've got 25 seconds left. Vitality rotating players in. Salvos just came online for Sayf as well. This is a big deal that GX, with 15, they gotta go. We gotta make it to the site. They've got delay utility. You've got to run through a Cypher setup. You've got a player pushed in on main. 8 seconds left. This is outrageous. Vitality may have pushed the boat out when it came to timing, but this, the blatant disregard for the clock at the top of their screen, they'll get their kills. But Vitality won that with pistol.
Now they come in with the buy.
The Sayf must have been sat there going, salvos, salvos, salvos. They didn't need them. They didn't need them. Just hold the cross and pop a stun. Beautiful stuff from Vitality in terms of patience. Westside's coming in with a fire in his belly after that last round. He's been dropped though. Tomaszy tries to make the sneaky play up close. He's giving it away. Never mind. They don't turn in time. And the quick double answered back by Sayf doesn't even put Vitality on the forefront. In fact, with him falling, this one's looking done. A 3-piece needed by CyvOph on the way back through. He's coming from heaven, and he's up against a strong setup. It stuns, flashes. Every player has something. In fact, 2 stuns, 2 flashes. They've got everything they could possibly want to work with. For CyvOph, perhaps this round is already out of his hands. Unless he gets an opportunity gifted very soon. It could just be a game of playing those exits, and I think that's what he's going for.
I think also in this scenario, the money is actually a bit more important. Having his weapon, making sure that that's not removed, have something to fight with going into the next, so making it a little bit more tough. Westside pretty much pre-fired him, so I don't think they're going to be caught off by too many of these shenanigans. Stun through, I like it, good opportunity, even with the salvo, that's wonderful. Fantastic opener onto Kicks, who's been really working with the squad with that supportive utility. Past the salvos they'll go, pop flash into the back of the site, and even throwing out that Teo ultimate, which could cause some issues for Cloud. He's been caught.
Down B.
Now Sayf might meet the same fate. Never mind, it's a big play on backside. A shutdown
to be, and I think GX have definitely made this maybe a little bit more competitive than I would have expected after the first half. Trouble for Purpo, who's being hit with so many pieces of utility, but actually it's the attack side to come out on top.
5. Luckily, there's presumably not going to be a huge change in direction, but they haven't got the ground they need just yet to commit. Pick has to be found. Derke uses his flash just to slow down the game a little bit. Same thing from Kicks. They know bleeding the clock is the main goal, but Purpo comes up huge. If those players are still alive at this stage, the round is under a lot of threat, but instead, a 5v2. What should be an easy cleanup from this point forward. In fact, I see them turn their back on the site. It looks like Vitality are making what, looking at their economy, is the right call. Getting out of here, saving those weapons for the next round.
Finances have not been bolstered at all throughout this defensive half. Well, you have to bear in mind, they've only had 2 rounds. Like, there's a 9-3 attack, and then from the second half, it has been blips in what has been a majority GX victory. And again, at times it feels like GX overplaying their hand, like running out of time, or in the last round trying to flash through the smoke, and there were players on the other side of it. For now,
early round aggression successfully, and I think the recovery from that point has been remarkable, as evidenced by the fact that he's just taken down Derke in another opening duel. That didn't happen in the first half at all, I think.
I feel like Derke is meeting the exact same problem, though. It's these patient defaults that GX are running, the same that Vitality were doing, a slow-paced, okay, let's wait out some of that early U2 that we know is coming, and Derke is trying to pop flash himself into those angles where there are 4 people waiting. And they're so prepared, like I said, when he was playing on the edge of that box, that has been cleared every single time by GX. They've been methodical in their approach to dealing with positions he likes to play. Shutting him out of the game is something teams rarely are able to do, but they have been able to do it. And you look at what they're doing with all their utility here, they are making it very difficult for players to make a play.
Online here for the side of Vitality. Breach putting in the rolling thunder, but they're inside the smoke with a shorty in hand. Purpo, it's nasty, but the shot doesn't land. And now Vitality flood in through the gates, left wide open by that pick. Oh, Runner's even blind in the corner, caught by the
Slightly favoured when it comes to that ultimate economy. I say slightly, but there we go, already. The fantastic utility damage. Purpo left within inches of his life, and well, eventually the job just gets done. Sayf less combining. As Runner and Cloud are left to try and pick up what is a shattered vase of a round.
Now, if I see westside still alive here, I'll give him 50-50 odds. GX, well, Cloud tagged up, Cloud dealt with. In fact, it's all on to Runner. Vitality, they had a huge lead. They stumbled, but they didn't trip and fall. Right back onto their feet. Runner has managed to slip up behind them. He's got 2 kills lined up in front of him, and he'll connect those nicely. But still, another 2 to go. The spike to be retrieved, and utility to fight through. Kicks has everything. With 35 seconds on the clock, there's still a paranoia on CyvOph, and no doubt the fault line to come through soon for Kicks. Runner, he has his work cut out for him.
If any of these closer angles are free to walk past, 20 seconds left to try and make some sort of move, make some sort of play, and they're playing on this sort of elevated angle. Both players in the corner, but the paranoia is going to make things awkward. The reposition might make it difficult for him to take these fights.
While Kicks and Sayf are running, we'll certainly see a lot of impact. The question of whose comp is better, well, we can try and answer it here all we like. It'll be answered here on the server. GX already pushing up, and well, Runner, she'll run no more.
And they do say walk, don't run. Whoever listened to that. Cloud's done well. Westside also hiding within. Utility wasn't expected, but it doesn't matter. The kill will be found anyway. Cloud back on that fade.
Spike planted.
And their performance versus KC had one hell of an individual showing. There's definitely a map and an agent that he feels incredibly comfortable on, so definitely a player to highlight. In this scenario though, a lot of delay. Vitality using that utility fairly early in that brawl, and after clearing out towards the defender side, this now becomes quite an awkward retake. Aftershock used, Kick gonna find one, in fact a second as well. And now the man highlighted. Cloud try and face versus 2, only knows where one of the players is, has to try and work out where Derke is.
Duel, and Runner is looking to give it to him with a jump spot. How has he snuck up that close? Pixel perfect timing. and they get a whole site as a result. He's going, he's still going. He's almost caught another player off guard. In fact, I think he did, but westside reacted.
Just about quick enough, especially when you look at the level of this bonus right now. It becomes quite awkward and what fantastic utility placement. Even caught by the seas, it doesn't matter. Pexa's going to win that fight. Does he escape? Just about. Is able to hold the line and hold on to his life.
Another body to throw at this situation. GX, they really want this round. As time goes on, they need a pick to get it. And there's still utility there. Paranoia goes in to buy time. Smoke down as well. They've got to push right through that, and the stun is waiting for them. That counters out the snake bite. Just beautiful play from that attacking side.
Oh, yeah, I think
for GX, if you're pushing into that Vice setup, that's one of your best chances to stop that push, to punish them for the aggression they're going for. But Runner got picked last round, and this one is no different. At least he's not surprised quite so much, but the utility coming his way, it locks him into a lost scenario. Purpo might just be in the same spot. He's being revealed now and quickly dealt with. Vitality are checking all of the boxes.
And this with a dimensional drift and a rolling thunder. It's Runner who's going to get spotted immediately. So much utility put in. They've got to try and escape the salvos. But, okay, Purpo did well. The fact they've traded 2 for 2 with multiple ultimates is not too bad.
Yeah, that is genuinely a miracle in this scenario. They also isolated the spike on GX's side, but CyvOph has the ultimate to just come from the shadows over on that A site and emerge into a free plant. Derke picking them off as they rotate back in to fill this gray space. GX don't know where the Vitality players have gotten to, at least they didn't. And in finding that information, they found themselves down to a 2v3. Good damage dealt, though. The ultimate coming in from Cloud, the reposition as well. He's going to meet up with Runner, and they'll approach this together. A deadly duo, already picking the first, the second, and a little more available right up top. They don't know where Les is. They haven't revealed him. It gives him a chance to jump. Good for 1, but not for 2.
Of course, it was always going to be difficult. Never mind. He's like, yeah, I got some kills. Immediately dead within 3 seconds.
And there was a point where I'm thinking maybe the op could change things for GX, having that aggressive C hold, for example, or the early info in A. In fact, it's the other way around. Vitality stumble once and say, all right, back to the drawing board. Let's bring out the big guns. As he's in trouble, those salvos are hunting him, and Kix was on his back. 2 assists on the board as well. You can just see the utility flying at these players before the bullets come in. Nice shot from westside. It's not made it a well, an easily winnable scenario, but it's brought it back to the realm of possibility. That is a crazy play from Cloud. He's alone, he opens the door, puts out a Seeker, and his life is quickly ended.
I'll also say it's a little bit crazy from CyvOph as well, just to run through the door and just fight him. But, you know, swings and roundabouts, I guess.
The only advantage being he heard the Prowler at least, and the 1-to-1 trades, not what you want in this scenario. It's all onto westside.
Runner was hoping he'd find just a single player.
Nice read.
Instead, no, nothing. Yeah, there's a chance. Maybe get a 1v1. That's the first. 25 seconds. It is versus Derke and Sayf, which does seem like almost an impossibility, but westside has been playing a great game. Just the stellar utility versus, well, I was going to say the entire team. There is still less in the spawn, but realistically, yeah, that's kind of what was expected. CyvOph actually taking the role of entry fragger in quite a few of these rounds, just TPing into the site after laying down his smokes, and I'll be honest, it's been working.
Makes sense as well. Once Derke picks up that operator, you're going to need someone else to bypass that utility and take the deeper fights. CyvOph! New on the stage!
Oh,
anything from CyvOph, or Clem as he was referring to him. We'll see if his mic comes on later. Sayf won't be allowed away with the aces. Oh, this is tragic. Purpo's popped the ult. The showstopper to try to hunt down a kill, and instead it was Derke picking the free kill with the operator and the TP out, so he goes unpunished. Vitality, the lead is massive on the scoreline. But now in the round, they've got another advantage to play with, and Purpo's walking into so many. But he gets one, and he won't get out of there.
I had a little bit of hope for a second, but it does feel like the second that Derke has had an operator in the server, the game is gone. Like, and it was barely there. it was there for one round, and then it's like, oh no, and it's gone again. It's like he was holding back for a second. Past the utility he goes. Steel Garden thrown in to take away the weaponry. I'll tell you whose weaponry it hasn't taken. Derke's. And by the way, I don't know if he tried to sell the steps as a fake, but he's just sat in their spawn.
30
Runner
seconds
is now
left.
completely surrounded. The wall holding them back for a second, but he's got to be careful because they're looking to come in from behind. He knows it, but he can't do anything about it. Oh, Derke on 3. No ace to be had, but he is looking for that 4th.
It's coming towards him as well. Well, tomaszy just to land one on the chin, but a few more for the knockout blow, and it's we could call it a Pipson. You can call many things a Pipson. We'll end that conversation there. 9-1. GX. Well, their defensive A does not seem to be going well. It's already been overrun, and as we discussed, there's a post-plant Viper's Pit available for Vitality to use. Looks like it's going to be put online any moment now.
I think he's waiting to see how many people Derke kills before getting to that point. They're already on the defusal. I thought they might at least get it to half, but nope. 2 players sprayed down already. Another for the CyvOph collection, and in fact, he is running it down. Wants a little bit more, will find his doom, but I think the job is full screen CyvOph's kills at this point.
Okay, there's a trade to start it out. Op left on the floor.
The runner is still here. Spam does a lot of damage, but they're still going to take a strike. In fact, he goes running in. He's run in through the utility. I think he was expected an isolated fight, and that was not the case. There were more than one player here. Sayf has spotted both, in theory. Never mind. Huge from Purpo. Showstopper out for an ace of his own, and he will take
minimum
it.
Normally, but maybe they can make it work. After all, this is their home. This is their map pick. And they're going to have to...
Outclassed. And I don't think that Vitality would have changed up their comp to have this almost comfort. Well, they weren't ready for it. Stun, salvo, a lovely combination. You look at the exact same scenario on the other side, and it was the player in that position completely screwed. Instead, they've come out with a 3-player advantage. I have to feel like...
I wouldn't change a single thing about it. Breaks my heart not to see Vi. She's the new Viper.
Clear this? Does he clear it? Ah, goodbye. Oh! Fine! Okay, Derke wanted 2. He was hoping for both the players, but instead gets absolutely nothing. Spike's going to be tapped. Les is not moving. This is not a guy that you're going to bait into silly fights, he says, wondering if he'll get baited into a silly fight
30
after
seconds left.
saying Derke won't die. Nonetheless, they will get themselves the plant. The thing is, though, again, Les playing this one safe. The rest of the team going to wrap around to join up with him, all coming from similar positions. Angles can be cleared with those salvos as well. They also have the stun ready and set. It's going to have to be big from the remaining players of GX.
Well, it looks like they're not standing on the landmines, right? The game of battleships that we start with doesn't go their way. Vitalities, that is. But now they've come through. The head-to-head fights dropped 1. tomaszy. It's the element of surprise. Here's all the steps. There's a chance. And now, well, but this means they, on GX, need to win this, and they've lost Viper off rip.
Trade. That's a Bulldog on the ground. The thing is, it does seem like their opponents have bought accordingly. 1 pistol, and then there's Bulldogs on the rest. And I'm trying to keep this one as safe as possible. Derke catches himself a little bit, but he catches the whole of the opposing side, just looking for these aggressive positions, getting pulled in by that fade utility by the Seas, and well, Cloud, unfortunately, he's not long for
Vitality did this on the attack. Derke walked through, broke the wall, made it all the way up to heaven, TP back. There's no pressure. And the instant response from Vitality, it's there every time. Les picks up a double, and he's out. It's a 4 versus 3, and like you said, not even GX players getting the trade.
Yeah, CyvOph was completely blind standing in the open, and while he's just can't see anything, is dazed and disoriented, Les kills the 2 people trying to finish him off. Nice shot from westside, though. Might not be the gun you necessarily wanted. An outlaw on the floor. And that's where it's going to stay. Not interested at all. Does that hurt you, Mitch?
A little bit. And then when I really think about it, a lot. But I'm going to swallow that and move on with the round. And for Sayf, well, 50 seconds on the clock, and he hears noise, and gets kills with a salvo. Vitality on both maps have gotten an astounding amount of kills with that salvo, usually off the breach stun as well being there. It's so difficult to deal with. But GX have managed to bring this back to a 2v2. The spike still has to cross. They still need the plant, and there's only 30 seconds on the clock. A full belt
30
of utility
seconds
for
left.
Kicks, and Les is slowly ticking all the boxes, making sure these players haven't gone for a sneaky play.
Damn.
And it's beautiful.